What is up, guys? So it is me, your nurse babe, your big sis, your best friend, your cousin. It is me, Carly. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this disclaimer out the way. Honey, don't worry about these eyebrows. Honey, don't worry about them, because your girl just got off work. This is day what, 3 of 8, honey. So I's tired. I don't always put on makeup for work. Y'all already know that. As I promised you guys, the next nursing video is going to be very juicy and something that you all need to know. Or you may think it's funny, or I'm not for sure how you'll even take it, but I just figured that I would let you guys know what all I have been through as a nurse. And when I say what all I've been through as a nurse, that means like some of the craziest, meanest, rudest, grossest things that has ever happened to me as a nurse. Like stuff I can't even make up, bro. Like I can't make it up. If you guys would like to hop right on into this video, then just keep on watching. But first, sis, make sure you subscribe if you're a nursing student, if you're a nurse, if you're an OG nurse, if you're a new nurse, if you're thinking about nursing. I would say you might want to subscribe, because sis, my channel is one of a kind. And turn on your notifications so you can be notified next time I upload a video, and let's get into it. So, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and start it off with number 1 is, I'm gonna give y'all a little background on this one. Being in Texas, we're already down south, and you know, sometimes the race card can come out to play, but I never thought that it would hit me. And to be honest, it hit me in my first year of nursing. And I'm not even gonna lie, sometimes when I'm triaging or taking care of some of the elderly patients, I sometimes feel cautious sometimes because of what I have been exposed to my first year of nursing. And so I'm gonna set it up for you guys. So prime example, patient came in, had been in a car accident, I really can't remember, but he was backboarded and C-collar. For those of you who do not know what backboarded and C-collar means, is that the patient was on this long board that EMS brings them in to stabilize them, and he was also in a C-collar, the thing that wraps around your neck. Whenever a patient comes into the emergency room like that, there is a procedure that you do. You have one nurse on the left side, you have one nurse on the right side, and you have someone at the front of the bed. And so the person that's at the front of the bed will hold C-spine. C-spine is your cervical spine. Don't look at my naps. C-spine is that cervical spine right here. The person that's at the top will hold your head like this, and then they'll go 1, 2, 3, and they'll roll you to the left. And then the person that's on the left or right, whichever way you turn, the person that's on the sides, they'll look and feel, and normally that's a nurse practitioner, PA, or even a physician that will be checking the patient. So we do that procedure to check and see if maybe there's something that we're missing. That's part of our trauma assessments. So we'll roll them either to the left or right, really doesn't matter. We'll check the doctor typically will check their back, check their spine, make sure everything's good. We don't see any obvious deformities or lacerations or puncture wounds or anything like that. So typically they'll put like a hand going down your spine, say, does everything feel good here? Everything good? Any pain? Any pain? And if the patient says no, then the person that's at the head will go 1, 2, 3, roll them back. All right, so patient came in. It wasn't even my patient, honestly, but the doctor was like, hey, we need somebody to hold C-spine. And I was like, all right, cool. So I guess when you're in a C-collar, your peripheral vision sometimes won't allow you to see at the foot of the bed. So I kind of snuck into the room and I was holding C-spine. I didn't look over him and tell him, hey, how you doing, or anything like that. I was just there holding C-spine. So I guess he never thought to look up at me with those type of scenarios. And that's why I'm so glad that I don't have to be put in this scenario because of who our president is. But whenever Obama was the president, And those of you who are OG nurses already know what I'm about to say and where I'm about to go with this, honey. So if you are OG, make sure you comment below and say, I'm an OG and I understand type of thing. But for those of you who do not know, the physicians, nurses, nurse practitioners, PAs, whoever, will ask them a series of questions. We'll ask them their name, their date of birth, where they are, and we'll ask who's the president. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't freaking know why we ask that question, but they do. So the doctor asks all those questions. What's your name? I don't even remember the patient's name, and I can't say it due to HIPAA, but I'm gonna just make up a name. Jon Snow. What's your date of birth? 11/11/15. If he would even be alive then, I don't know. What's this place that you're at? It's a hospital. Okay, who's the president? That nigger. So.
Hey, bro. What? Oh my God!
Mind you, I work in an emergency room, and I'm not gonna lie, a lot of times when I work in an emergency room, I'm probably one of the very few black nurses on the floor anyway. So, of course, the two people that were holding the sides, and including the physician, they were all white, and I was the only black nurse in the room. Honey, if you could have seen the look on everybody's face in the room, everybody's face looked like what? So everybody turned and looked at me, and I was just kind of like shook, because I'm like, I know he saw me come in, or I know he saw me above him. Like, I don't know what happened, but I just knew he had known that I was black. But so needless to say, when he said that, sis, what you think I did? I'm gonna give y'all a second.
2,000 years later.
Write down below what you thought I did. Pause this video. Pause it, sis. Put it on pause. And tell me what y'all think I did.
Later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
I kindly leaned down and said, "Hi, my name is CarleRae, and I'll be your nurse today." Y'all, when I leaned over, let me tell you how big this man's eyes got. He was like, yeah, I'm your nurse. I wasn't your nurse at first, but I'm gonna be your nurse today, honey. And so I'm just kind of like, I really just can't believe that I experienced that firsthand. And that was my first year of being a nurse, honey. And like I said, I'm not even gonna lie, like whenever I take care of the elderly population that we have here, I kind of feel a little cautious, because I don't want to experience that again. Because for one, I'm here to take care of you, whether you white, black, Asian, Mexican, blue, purple, Hispanic, illegal, immigrant, whatever. I'm here to take care of you when you need me the most. Number two, yeah, this hospital that I was working for, y'all, was a hellhole. And we were always so busy, and we got a lot of psych patients there. So this particular patient was one of our psych patients, and we needed a urine specimen. So with psych patients, you need to get a urine specimen so you can run a UDS. What a UDS is, a urine drug screen. So you need to know toxicology, and you need to know what their urine looks like so you can better treat them, and also for medical clearance for placement for like a psych facility or a behavioral hospital or things of that such. He had just come into my room, and the doctors had ordered the labs. We got the labs and everything like that. We had already had to put him in restraints and everything, honey. Like, so he was already in restraints. He was that type of combative psych patient. So I went in there to tell him that I needed a urine specimen. So y'all, with this particular situation, I had to let go one of the restraints because the man had to kind of roll over a little bit, so to speak, and put his private area into the urinal so that I could obtain the urine specimen. Y'all would never guess what he tried to do. Well, this man tried to urinate on me. He whipped it out and tried to like urinate on me. Like, baby, this ain't R. Kelly. Like, what you think this is? I was just so taken aback by what he was trying to do. I was just like, oh, hell no, we ain't finna play that damn game. So I quickly moved out the way and put that dang old arm back in a restraint, and I told him straight up, I said, you ever do that again and you're losing. Yeah, I probably should have never said that still. I was just kind of like, no, this man didn't. No, this man did not. Like, did you really try to pee on me? Number 3. So I'm sure a lot of my OG nurses have experienced this, but whenever you work in nursing and you have a critical patient or a patient that's near dying or something like that, you get those family members that's kind of overbearing and trying to tell you how to do your job and things like that, and you know, such and such, such and such. So with this scenario, honey, a trauma came in, right? The patient was a CPR when he came in. So we were working the CPR and we're giving it our best. We're doing the best that we can. And it came to a point where after almost 20-30 minutes of doing straight good circulation of CPR and giving epi, you still don't see a rhythm change. It's straight up asystole. Nothing is happening. So after we call the code, the family, of course, is like screaming, because at this particular hospital, they like for the family to come in and witness everything that's going on. But even after witnessing us do this for like 20-30 minutes, they still seem to somehow blame the staff for the death. And I hate to keep saying that, but like these instances, I'm just kind of like, are y'all really like just going at us because we called the code? And I know and I understand that that's a difficult situation for them at that time in that moment, but blaming the nursing staff that was trying to save this patient's life is not the right thing to do. If it was that person's time to go home, there was nothing that we could have ever have done, because it was Jesus calling him home. Number 4, so if you guys watch me, and I hope you guys have watched me and binge watched some of my videos, then you know that I started out as a nursing home nurse. And so I worked in a nursing home on the skilled rehab floor, and they often brought in a lot of new admissions. With this particular situation, y'all, I had an elderly man that came in and he was new to the floor, and you know, I'm trying to get him oriented and everything like that. And so he came in right at about 2 o'clock, and we got him checked in, got him introduced to his room, and you know, got him just oriented to the floor and things. I say about 7:30, 8 o'clock rolls around, and you know, I got 3 hours left in my shift at the nursing home, because at the nursing home you work from like 3 to 11, so it was only 8-hour shifts. And you know, I'm trying to just do evening med pass and everything like that. My patient, who is in a wheelchair now, is steadily going to the exit door trying to exit, and after a certain time period there's a lock on those doors, and so if you don't put in the code, then it'll sound the alarm. However, this door was right there by the nursing station, so I'm wondering like where he's going, and so he's steadily pressing the door, pushing the door, pushing the door, pushing it. And so the door finally opens, the alarm sounds off and everything like that, and it startles him. So, you know, of course I run over there. I'm trying to get him back into the door. Y'all, don't you know this man started hitting me? This older man just started swinging, hitting me, y'all. And if you know anything about those little older people in the nursing homes, their little jabs can really hit you. I was just like, what in the world, honey? Like, what in the world? That was just so surprising to me. And so if my OG nurses already know what I'm talking about, y'all already know what I'm about to say. But this fellow had sundowners. And it's very common in the elderly population. And so what sundowners is just exactly like it sounds. Whenever the sun sets, that's when their dementia and Alzheimer's and their ultramental status just kind of kicks in full gear, and they are just a completely different soul. Y'all don't want to experience that, and I hope and pray to God neither one of my parents go through sundowners, because it is so bad. So all you can try to do is just reorient them to who you are, where they are, and and redirect them. So with this last situation, y'all, it comes as in management base. My biggest thing is when I feel like my team who I work for does not have my back. How hospitals see it now is that the patient is always right. In some scenarios, the patient isn't always right. It came about when the patient and a physician kind of had words or whatever, but I was nowhere near the situation or what happened, but the patient ended up blowing up in the hallway, and the patient ultimately ended up leaving and writing a bad review and things of that nature. And so yes, I was called and asked about the situation. So what my management told me honestly was that I should have been there to de-escalate the situation and do some patient service recovery right then and there, as opposed to going to care for my critical patients. I'm sorry that that patient was mad about whatever the doctor and her talked about, but what am I supposed to do? Like, that's my patient, but like, sis, I can't do nothing about the patient being mad at the physician. If the physician is in the room talking with the patient, and if I'm in the room with another patient, then why am I being told that I should have did some de-escalation and patient service recovery instead of being in a critical patient's room? That right there rubbed me the complete wrong way, and that right there was one of the last straws that made me leave that facility, because I refused to be told that you should have been there doing patient service recovery instead of taking care of a critical patient. Like, which one you want me to do? Do you want me to take care of the critical patient or take care of the patient that's mad? The patient that's mad, that's still alive, is still very well and good and in good standing. But this patient over here is critical, but you don't want me to be over there. You want me to be over here doing some patient service recovery. So I don't get that one. I still don't get it. I never will get it. And that's why I left the facility as is. So this will conclude the video, guys, and I hope this was very insightful and enjoyable for you guys. I will see you guys in my next one, honeys, and like I said, don't forget to subscribe to your girl's channel. Bye.